Hello, I'm Michael Gaddy, and I'm the president of the Louisville Wedding Network, and we are so glad that you can join us today for this live virtual bridal wedding show. So today we are here at Lakeside Reflections, and we want to first start off our wedding show with Lakeside Reflections. First of all, Paul, I want to thank you so much for hosting us here today. You've got a beautiful facility here.
Well,
Paul has, how long have you been here, Paul?
Lakeside's been in place for about 23 years. We've been in business for 23 years.
That's amazing, and I know personally I've done a lot of weddings here too.
Yes, you have.
So what's included in Lakeside Reflections packages?
Well, our packages include the DJ. We do our own in-house catering. It includes that. White linen tablecloths, white chair covers. Our centerpieces are complimentary. If you don't like ours, we can take ours off and you can put yours on. It includes the rehearsal, getting married outside by an 11-acre lake, and then coming indoors and air conditioning for your reception. It includes the servers, all the setup, and the cleanup.
Well, I know we'll be taking a tour around Lakeside later
Great.
to see all the property, because you also have another area that you have weddings which is Nick's Museum.
That's correct.
And we're going to take you all there later, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. Let me ask you this: how has the COVID-19 impacted you with Lakeside?
Well, it certainly impacted us. The health department and the governor of the state of Indiana require face masks. Our tables are spread a little farther apart, not as many chairs. As well, we added staff for servers, because now we have to serve the buffet rather than you go through a self-service buffet, that kind of thing. And then the staff also, what they do is they walk around and clean the high volume traffic areas, quite frequently.
Great.
In addition, a lot of the brides are really worried about face masks. They're worried about guest count and stuff like that. And some of them have elected to push their weddings off until next year. But we do have a pretty full slate between now and the end of the year.
So if someone wants to get in touch with you, what should be the first thing they do?
Yeah, go out to lakesidereflections.com, send us an email at weddings@lakesidereflections.com, or you can call 812-282-5425.
All right, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank
we'll
you.
be
Our
seeing Paul a
pleasure
little
having you
later. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Now we're going to move over to a Southern engagement with Kimberly Carmen. Kimberly, I know you've been in business for quite some time. So tell us a little bit about marriage license.
Okay, so that's a really, really common question right now, especially with everything that's been going on. And the rules are different in Kentucky than they are in Indiana. In Kentucky, you have the ability to go to the county clerk office in any county that you want and get a marriage license. It's valid for the entire state, so any of the 120 counties, but it's only valid for 30 days. The big thing with Indiana is it's valid for 60 days. However, you have to go to the county that you're actually getting married in. So that makes a huge difference. The best thing about Indiana is they have an application process you can start online, and that kind of helps kick it a little bit. But there are a little bit different fees as well. If you're in state, Indiana has a fee. If both of you are out of state, they have a separate fee. In Kentucky, it's just one flat $50 rate.
That's awesome. So tell me, how do you deal with the stress with planning a wedding?
Ooh, so I have a little bit of notes on that. Obviously, the first thing that a wedding planner or coordinator is going to recommend for stress is get a wedding planner or get a wedding coordinator. It's not for everybody. It's for like 98% of everybody. There are a few weddings that are small enough or the details can be handled if they've got an amazing vendor team. It's not always necessary. However, the biggest thing I think for stress relief is to remember that you might be a bride and or a groom, but that's your title for a little while. You're not getting married because you're a bride and a groom. You're getting married to this person for life. So take a few breaks, schedule a monthly or a weekly, here we'll talk about weddings at this time and this time only, schedule your date nights or your date lunches, take a spa day, go golfing with the guys, do things that remind you that you are the same person that you've always been. You're a bride and groom for a little while, or whatever your title may be. Don't get so wrapped up in that for the next 6, 12, 18 months that you forget about everything else going on.
That's awesome. Kim, is wonderful. How can they contact you, Kim?
So you can go to aSouthernEngagement.com or Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all if you search at A Southern Engage. It's 509-2743, which is 509 Bride if you want to give us a call. It's 502. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, next on the list, we've got Steve Harmon here with Steve A. Harmon Photography.
How you doing?
What do you feel sets you apart from any other photographer?
I bring about 30 years of experience to my wedding days. I do full day photography. I also offer a full copyright release on everything that I photograph that day. I love working with the clients. And full day is full day. It's whenever you want me till whenever you don't. That's generally how I explain a full day photography. People keep asking, well, is that going to be at 9 a.m.? And I'm like, yeah. So I worked news for about 10 years right out of college. Was 15-time state award winning for photojournalism in Indiana, and I've won nationals for weddings. If the bride and groom ask me, can we, and I don't think I've had a no come out of my mouth. So if they're however creative they wish to be, let's try to make that happen. It's their day, it's not mine.
Well, let me ask you this. What kind of photo packages do you offer in your packages?
Everything that I do is full day photography. So I range all the way from proof albums all the way up to handmade Italian albums. I do all the layout and design work based upon the images that the bride and groom pick out that day. And work with them online to get the album that they're going to treasure forever.
That's awesome. So if one of the brides wants to get a hold of you, how would you suggest to?
Well, there are a couple different ways. You can call me at 502-599-8483, or you can email me at Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, at Harmon, H-A-R-M-O-N, weddings.com.
All right, Steve.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Next, we have Jack Miller with Soundtrack DJ Services. Jack, thanks for being here.
Hi, Mike. How are you today?
You do a wonderful job. I've done tons of weddings with you, with all your lighting and everything. So, tell us a little bit about your business.
I'm a full DJ service. I've been in the business for over 35 years in the greater Louisville area, so I'm a local DJ. My service includes DJ service, MC, uplighting, lighting for the venue, and sound for the ceremony, along with monogram projection.
So when you said lighting, do you provide, if they wanted your DJ services only, that comes, or if you wanted to do lighting only, do you do that also?
Yes, I will provide uplighting for any venue. If someone calls me, I have no problem just doing lighting.
I know Jack has done many weddings of ours that's done the lighting and the DJing, and it's always top notch. How can the brides get a hold of you, Jack?
The easiest way is go to my website. It's www.sound, S-O-U-N-D, tracks, T-R-A-X-X, DJS.com.
All right, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Jack.
Mike.
Appreciate you being here. Now we're going to go to a tip from Jamie from Events for You. So, Kimberly's going to give us the tip today. Sorry.
Hi, everybody. Two quick tips on wedding shows. The first one I always recommend to everybody is before you come to a bridal show, go to like a free email site like Google, Gmail, create a email address that is specifically for your wedding process. That way you don't miss any emails that come through from wedding shows, from vendors that you're communicating with. You don't want to get it all put together in your work email and miss something important one way or the other. And then also come to your local wedding shows, like the one we're having here today at Lakeside. We'll be over at Melwood Entertainment Center over in Louisville next month in September. Come meet your local vendors. We're still here for you. We still want to make your wedding a dream come true. And the best thing about our network, all of our members, besides the fact that we're basically a giant family because we've been together for so long, we also offer you discounts that you won't always get everywhere else.
All right, thank you so much. Every little tip helps. Now we are heading over to the barn at Magnolia Farms with Linda Waddell. Linda, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Mike.
Tell us what makes your barn venue different than any other barn venue.
Well, first of all, we are only 25 minutes from the J-Town exit of the Snyder, so we're really close by. Our barn is different because it's not just a pole barn, just a big metal barn like you see in a lot of the other venues. We are an authentic, old, rustic barn. And last year we put in heat and air so that way we could keep it rustic inside. And we brought all the barn wood inside too.
Well, I've done a few weddings out there, and it's a really lovely place.
We also have real restrooms and concrete floors and all the amenities you would have at any other venue.
So tell them about your the bridal suite type cabin you have.
Oh, we do have a small cabin on the property where the brides and the girls can come up and get dressed, and they can hang out in nice cool air or heat if it's wintertime.
That's a very nice place. Tell us how you can get a hold of you.
You can reach us at 502-354-3778, or you can go to our email at thebarn@magnoliafarm@gmail.com.
Okay, Linda, thank you so much for being here. Now we're moving over to 1+1 video with Jessica Denzik. Jessica, thank you. Jessica is our vice president of the network, and she also is in charge of setting all the bridal shows up. So you do a great job. Thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you. So tell us a little bit about your business.
I do cinematic wedding films, ceremonies, and receptions. My wedding films are about 5 minutes long and they're set to music. They're great because they're shareable and they include the best parts of the day. My ceremonies are shot from beginning to end, so when the first grandmother starts walking in, I start recording until the last grandmother walks out, so I get the whole thing. And for receptions, I record formal events, so your grand entrance, cake, toast, bouquet, garter. What's special about my videos is that I include audio. So for ceremony, I mic the groom and the officiate. And if you have a podium for readings, I'll put a microphone there also. And then at reception, I plug into the DJ, or I'll mic the best man and the maid of honor because I want to get that really good speech audio.
Well, I tell you what, I've had a few questions here to ask you, but I think you covered them all. So tell them how they can get a hold of you.
My website is 1+1video.com, or you can connect with me on Facebook or Instagram at 1+1 Weddings.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much, and thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Now we're moving on to a Perfect Plan events with Sharon Rumsey. Sharon, she's an amazing girl. We do a lot of weddings together, and she's top notch. So what sets you apart different than any other planner?
Well, I think one of the things that sets me apart is relationship. I think that, weddings are a relational-based business, and just forming that really good, solid relationship with your bride is so important. And the other thing is we use a virtual planning software called Aisle Planner, which you can see displayed here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it allows a bride to plan virtually with me. I can hook their mother in, the groom in, everybody, and we can all plan together. So even if a bride's out of town, we can still plan a wedding together.
What is the difference between a venue coordinator or a wedding planner?
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite question. I get asked all the time. So a lot of times I'll talk to a couple at a wedding show and they'll say, well, our venue comes with a coordinator. And it does. And a venue coordinator works for the venue. They don't work for the couple. That being said, they're great. They're very much needed. But they're there if there's a problem with the facility, if there's a problem with the lights or the air conditioning. And a wedding planner works for the couple and is actually there to make sure that your day flows smoothly, create your timeline, help the bride get dressed. We're just with that bride literally all day long from start to finish.
All right. Well, if a bride wants to get in touch with you or a couple, how would they do that?
So you can check us out at aperfectplanevents.com, or send me an email at sharon@aperfectplanevents.com, or just give me a call, 812-989-4000.
Sharon, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can also, we are doing this in live person today for couples to come to the show, starting at 2 o'clock. We've got quite a few registered, so we're ready to see people in person too. So hopefully to see everybody at 2 o'clock. Now moving on, we've got Jim's Formal Wear. Actually, Jim's Farmware and Lloyd's Florist are together, and today we've got Pam, which is my wife, and we have lots of questions that always come up with tuxes. Should the groom be dressed different than any other?
That is actually one of the hardest things to get a groom to believe in. And my number one response to them is usually the bride is not dressed like her bridesmaids. So the groom definitely needs to be just a little different. Even if I can just make it something as simple as the groom wears a bow tie and all the groomsmen wear long ties. But yes, he does need to stand out in some way, shape, or form.
Now, we also get the question a lot that the number one question is, well, part of my wedding party is out of town.
Correct.
So can you take care of that?
Yes, once you give us the contract, what we actually do is we will collect all the information, all the guys' information as far as their names and their phone numbers, then we reach out to them individually. So once you give us the contract, you as the groom or the bride don't have to worry about it again. I will take care of getting in contact with them, giving them all the information they need, collecting that information. We can even drop ship the shoot to them directly so they have it, try it on and everything, and it's not anything last minute. We can alter it or do anything we need to make everybody look and feel their best.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now, we also, being a Louisville Wedding Network member, if you book 2 or more vendors in the Louisville Wedding Network, you'll receive 5% off of each vendor. So that's a great savings, so keep that in mind. Now, what I'm going to tell you now is, since Lloyd's Florist, Jim's Farmware is inside of Lloyd's Florist. And if you book your suits through Lloyd's Florist, or Jim's Farmware, you get 10% off your flowers. So that's 2 things that you can even save more. The highest discount that we can give is 10%. It's not 10% plus 5%. But keep in mind, if you book your suits through us and also book your flowers, if you book Sharon or Jamie or anyone else in the network, you're going to be able to get an extra 5% off of them. So keep that in mind. We would love to help you in any way we can. Thanks, Pam. Appreciate it. Next on the list is Jennifer with Naaman's Catering. We do quite a few events with Naaman's. I mean, in the past 3 weeks, I think you've been at every one that I've done. So I know you all are staying busy. So tell us what makes Naaman's different than any other caterer?
Well, the owner, Wes Naaman, he's been in business 45 years in the food industry. He's very knowledgeable and very resourceful on the food needs, the catering needs. One thing I feel is his food is very flavorful. I've been with Wes as a second job for 17 years, and we always receive lots of compliments on the food and service. Great, excellent customer service. He's got a great staff that their main goal is to take care of the bride and groom, the family, and the guests.
Well, I know when we're at a wedding, I mean, you all are always top notch. Let me ask you this, do you also cut the cake?
We do.
Okay.
We cut the cake. One thing, Naaman's does not charge any service fees. There's no service fees attached. He does not charge to cut the cake or any of the extra. In fact, even tipping is optional. So he doesn't include that in automatically on the bill.
Okay. So is there a limited menu that you offer, or?
No, he has such a variety. We have taco bars, Mexican bars, pasta bars, breakfast, brunch. His menu is wide extensive.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, where can they reach? How can the bride and groom get a copy?
One other thing I wanted to mention also is he will do free food sampling for up to 4 people. And he'll bring the sample of food to the house and set up and go over the menu and what he has to offer at that time. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
And you can reach him at, his phone number is 502-939-8755, or Naaman's Catering, that's NAIMANSCATERING @gmail.com, or naaman'scatering.com.
All right. Thank you,
And one thing I wanted to mention on the discounts, along
Yes.
with the Louisville Wedding Network, he also offers a 2.5% discount if you sign a contract and pay a deposit within 30 days of the food sampling. And right now he's offering a COVID, since some things are last minute, where if you do it within 10 days, then he will go ahead and offer the 2.5%.
Keep that in mind, brides and grooms.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big savings.
That
right
is a
there.
big savings, yeah. it is.
Along with the other Louisville Wedding Network discount.
Right,
Perfect place to
right.
start saving money.
Exactly.
Jennifer, thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
here.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Thank you. The next thing on our list is another tip from Jessica at 1+1.
Hi, I'm Jessica with 1+1 Video, and my tip is about lighting. Most couples want a bright sunny day for their wedding day, but actually an overcast day is the best condition for videography. If you don't have any overcast on your wedding day, we can find someplace shady, and that'll create beautiful images. So that's my tip, and I hope to see you today from 2 to 4 in person.
Next, all the bride and grooms out there that want to get fit, this is the guy that you want to come see. This is Shane Connor from Home Fit Personal Training.
Hello.
Shane, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yes, so although we have a wonderful studio in Louisville and St. Matthews by Trinity High School, we focus on in-home personal training. So we have male and female trainers that will come to your house. We customize all your workouts, bring the equipment to you, and not only will we help you out with your nutrition throughout the week, but we'll give you that accountability you're looking for. Our main pillars are personal training. We also offer a large variety of group fitness classes, accountability, community, and nutrition to make sure you get to those fitness goals you've been wanting to get to.
That's awesome. So tell us about your drawing you're giving away today.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is just give the brides and grooms a chance to try us out. So if you go to our website, homefitpt.com, PT is in personal training, you could actually sign up for 2 free private sessions and just try us out. And those sessions can be at our studio or in your home or backyard. We just want to make sure you feel comfortable.
Shane, thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Thanks. Now we have Tracy Wood from Sawyer Hayes Community Center. Beautiful place. I've done lots of weddings out there ourselves. And you all are always top notch, always treat the bride and grooms great.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you're
Thank
always
you.
so flexible about delivery time. I just love coming out there.
Oh, thank
So
you.
tell us a little bit about Sawyer Hayes.
Well, the thing that makes Sawyer Hayes kind of unique is it's located on a state park. We're the only state park in the Louisville area. The rest are metro parks. Sawyer Hayes is on a 560-acre state park, heavily wooded, and it's a big glass building, so you can see all of the outdoors when you're in there having your reception or wedding. We can do indoor or outdoor. And we're also very conveniently located to all major expressways.
Well, I tell you what, I've done weddings out there in the fall. I've done them in the summer. I've done them in the spring and also in the winter. And every backdrop that around that glass building is just top notch.
Yeah, we have amazing color in the spring, dogwoods and redbud trees, and then, you know, orange and yellow, browns and greens in the fall. Makes for a perfect backdrop for all your pictures. When you rent our facility, you get the entire building and all the grounds around the building for 12 hours, and it includes the tables and chairs, which
That's awesome.
sometimes that's not included.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing. How will they contact you for more information?
for more information, it's easy to see us on Facebook or Instagram. I try to put a lot of pictures on there so the brides can kind of be informed about what our place looks like. So you just go to @Sawyer Hayes Community Center for Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me. Email is the best way to reach me, and it's tracy.wood@ky.gov because we're a state park.
So I got one more question because I skipped over it. When the bride and groom shows up, or the family, what is everything set up already? Do they have to set anything up, or what's required of them when they come into your facility?
Well, all the tables and chairs will be set the way they want. I usually try about a month prior to the wedding to send them a diagram, and they will sign off on that diagram, and then our maintenance employees will set up those tables and everything will be ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Tracy, thank you so much.
Great, thanks.
Appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here today.
Uh-huh.
Next on the list is Blown. And we have Andrea Went with us here today. She is new to the area, correct? And she's got a great story. We'll go into that another time. But, I mean, tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, so Blown Blowouts is the only blowout bar in southern Indiana. We are an exclusive styling bar, so we don't do cuts or colors. Our niche and our passion is styling. So updos, if you just want your hair washed and then dried and styled, we have signature styles, or you can bring in a picture you found on Pinterest and we'll try to recreate that look for you. Something that, these are the girls here, we call them the blown bells. So this is Davida and Lakin. We really take pride in making an exclusive experience for our guests and empowering the women when they're there.
So when we were talking earlier, you were saying that when a bride comes in, the whole wedding party gets your facility at that time. I heard it was a beautiful place too.
It's very beautiful, very clean and elegant, and that's something that we think is really important, that it is such a special day that we'll customize the event for the bride. So that includes them getting the space, getting us at their beck and call that day to just make them feel like the goddess that they are.
That's amazing. Now you cannot say no to that.
Exactly.
I mean, they're gonna be all over that. Come out today. Don't forget 2 to 4 here at Lakeside, because you can talk to these lovely ladies all in person. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next on the list is Eric Edwards from Fleur de Lis. I can't say enough about this guy. I tell you what, if you are looking for that perfect groom's gift, and it doesn't have to be a groom's gift, it can be a groomsman's gift. I mean, I've used you for many times for Christmas gifts.
Yes, you have.
So tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, what I do is a little bit different, because I try to make gifts for the individual to make them very unique. And I do that by I meet with you, and then you pick the item that you want, and then you pick the material that you want to put in it, being a wood or an acrylic or a stone, and then I make it for you. Other people will just put them out on the tables, and they're great work, but you might not find the one exactly like you like. I make the one that you exactly want. You pick everything, I make it to your specifications, and then you have a very unique individual gift that you can't get anywhere else.
And you also monogram them, correct?
I do. I have. My wife doesn't trust me with a laser, so I have another gentleman do that for me. We can put names, dates. We can put anything on most of the items we can. Some that doesn't look good. But the biggest thing that we like to do, that I like to have done now, is if you can get the signature of the person you're making it for, we can put the signature on it, and that way it totally makes it their gift and nobody else's.
That's awesome. Well, I tell you what, I mean, and where can they find you at?
They can find me first. You can find the display of mine either today at the show. You can find a display of mine at Lloyd's Florist and the Tuxedo Shop, or you can find me at fleurdelave.com. You can contact me at 502-396-7876 or Eric at fleurdelave.com.
All right, Eric. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you all.
Next on our list today is events for you, Jamie. How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, when hiring a wedding planner or a day of coordinator, why is that so important?
Well, because you want your day to be as organized as possible, okay? And you don't want your family doing this, okay? You want someone that's a professional that handles all of this for you, so you can enjoy your day to the fullest extent. If you're running around trying to decorate your own venue, or you've got your family doing it and everyone is stressed, so in my opinion, that is not enjoying your day. So if you have a professional handling this from months back, some people I work with for a year and a half or longer, okay, you don't have to worry about this. We've got this.
That's awesome. So do you work with all vendors?
Sure do. Of course, we always try very hard to work with our wedding network, the Louisville Wedding Network vendors first. A lot of times we are invited last to the party because we've been hired last as a day of coordinator. So of course we work with all vendors and we make sure that they're doing their job and that they arrive at the time they tell us. I will have contacted everyone the week prior to make sure of their exact arrival time, what they're going to do, that type thing.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I've done many weddings with Jamie, and I really don't see how any wedding can be functioned without a wedding planner. Because, I mean, there is so much, the details that you all take care of, it's crazy, and that's one less thing that the bride has to take care of, and the bride's family, and especially her mom. So I highly recommend Jamie and with Events for You. Tell us how they can reach you, Jamie.
You can reach me on my website at eventsforyoulouisville.com. You can reach me at 502-777-5689. Call me anytime.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Jamie,
all.
for being here. Next on the list is Rachel with Personal Travel. And Rachel, I mean, I know you live in Indiana. Your business is in Indiana, but you service everyone.
We do. One of the special things we do is we will actually go to meet the bride and groom wherever they want. They don't have to come to us. We can go to them, and that is free of charge. We do not charge to do that.
Rachel has done many things for me. As you see, I've used a lot of these guys in here. Rachel has booked many vacations for us, and it's always top notch. Don't have to worry about anything. So what do you suggest to bride and grooms or couples that are getting married? How far out do they need to start planning their honeymoon?
Typically, we would say anywhere between 8 to 12 months is a really good niche to do that in. But with COVID, we have found that a lot of things are pushed out, and now things are booked up for next year. So we're saying the sooner that you can get it booked, the better.
That's good information there. So let me ask you this: when not here, and I just lost my train of thought. When booking, I mean, for people that has booked their honeymoon already, are you seeing things that they're having trouble doing, or are there places still open that's not open anymore, or?
There's a lot of places that are still closed. There are a lot of places that are going to be opening, so that's why it's best to use a travel planner, because that way we know what's open, what's going to be open. There's cancellation things. There's just a lot of things that you need to navigate, and we are happy to do that.
But there are still the brides that are getting married in the fall and have not booked their wedding.
There are still places available.
That are available.
Yes, they just need to get on it really soon.
So keep that in mind, guys.
Right.
All right. Rachel, thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
She's going to be here from 2 to 4 today also. So come out and see Rachel so you can book your honeymoon.
My number
yes,
is 812-923-8768, or you can also reach me at rachel@personaltravelonline.com.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good
Thanks.
one. Now I'm going to. I'm sorry. Going to Sharon. She's got our next tip.
Hi guys, so one of my favorite wedding tips that I always give my couples is, I call it my redneck wedding tip. It's rent a U-Haul. I always tell my couples to rent a U-Haul for the day of. You load everything up, all of your decor, anything that needs to go to the venue, you put it in that U-Haul and you bring it, you back it up to the U-Haul, we unload it. But when it really comes in handy is at the end of the night, when everybody's had a few drinks, you're exhausted. Most wedding days are about 16 or 17 hours, and we're trying to load everything up. And we're not, if you have the U-Haul, we're not out in the parking lot going, hey, Aunt Betty, can you take these florals? And Uncle Johnny, we have leftover wine. Can you take the wine? You just unload that U-Haul. You put everything right back in the U-Haul, lock it up. You can leave it at the venue overnight in the parking lot, and somebody worries about it on the next morning. So anyway, that's my favorite wedding tip.
All right. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Next, we're at Heitzman's Traditional Bakery with Marguerite Shedd.
Michael.
Now, this is another one that I do lots and lots of business with, and I highly recommend her. I mean, she's top notch when it comes to catering and also her cakes. What is the most popular thing today in flavors for cakes?
Yeah. Well, there's actually a lot of things that are kind of really trendy right now, but the biggest thing is probably just something like a simple two-tier cake. A two-tier cake will feed probably roughly about 35 to 40 people, and then you can do cupcakes, maybe do sheet cakes or something like that. Cannolis are really popular too, and also our petit-fours.
And talk about the donut wall.
The donut wall is pretty cool. The donut wall, you can do a series of like 6 to 10 different flavors of donuts. This actually stands about 5 foot tall. It's got LED lights on it. You can also add flowers to the top of it. It can actually be used as the evening event or actually take the place of the wedding cake.
That's awesome. Now, cupcakes are still popular?
Cupcakes are huge, and it literally cuts your cost in half when you do cupcakes. When you do cupcakes, maybe do a small little cake just for the bride and groom, you're really talking about a 50% cut in the cost of doing a huge wedding cake.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about catering. Do you, I'm sure you're taking all the measurements and the guidelines for
Yes.
the COVID. Do you come in and set everything up? Do they get their dishes, their linens, and all that from you?
Everything is done by Heinzman's Bakery. I mean, we have been doing weddings as far as the food and actually the setting up and everything for over 75 years. Catering is what we take very personally. We want to make sure that the family is having a good time. There is no stress involved. We're at the event 2 hours ahead of time, and we're the last ones to leave. As far as linens, the cake, the plates, everything is actually set up by us. We have a series, just like you can see here today. We've got plates and everything that we can actually show you for china or do disposable plates.
Okay, that's awesome. So where can they reach you at?
Okay, we're going to be at Chevyville Road. It's our only store. It's at 9426 Chevyville Road, and we're at 502-426-7736.
All right, thank you, Margaret.
Okay,
thanks for being
Michael.
here.
Thank you.
Come and check her out today. She's going to be having samples of cakes and a little bit of her catering from 2 to 4. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the list is Rick Zimmerman.
Mike?
Rick Zimmerman is an awesome guy. He has done quite a few weddings that I've done too. And so what sets you apart from any other photographer?
Well, first of all, what we do is we treat the bride and groom with a lot of respect. We treat them as if they're the king and the queen that day. We customize packages according to what they're interested in and not so much what the typical photographer may do in a typical day. You know, so we basically will run with them and make them happy throughout the day, you know, depending on what they're interested in.
So when you cover a wedding, are you there by yourself, or do you have a partner that comes with you, or how does that work?
Normally, most weddings were with couples all day long with an assistant photographer. So, you know, it keeps me from working as hard. Plus, you get better quality. You're gonna get some photographers that are more relaxed and can have more fun with you and have a good time with you. And you know, it makes us feel more confident because we can cover more things at the venue because there's 2 of us shooting all day long. We both have about 35 years experience in wedding photography, and we just have a lot of fun with couples. We don't, you know, we don't treat it like a job. We just have a good time. We know life is short, and we just want to get out there and just bust our tail and do a great job for couples and give them very nice quality products. Well,
you do have a good quality product, and let me ask you this: do your packages include engagement pictures?
They do. That's one thing that I enjoy doing. I throw in engagement sessions for free, just to kind of get to know the couples. We go out there and have a good time in a relaxed environment where there's no time restraints, and have a great time with couples and make them feel, you know, that when they're with me or with me and my wife, you know, how we can have that good connection. So when we come to on that wedding day, they'll know, hey, Rick and Roberta, they were just so nice, and we had such fun with them. You know, I'll feel confident they're going to do a great job for us.
That's awesome, and they do a great job. I can personally say that they did my son's senior pictures, and they were top notch. Appreciate it. The detail in everything you did, from a little golf ball and his class ring sitting on top of it. We've got that hanging on our wall.
That's one thing about someone with experience, you know, in photography versus just someone with a little iPhone. You know, I know how to compose, I know how to set depth and make things look important and make things that don't look important. So those things do look important that are important for you to get in a picture.
So tell our couples how they can get in touch with you.
You can find us at ZimmermanPhotography.com, or you can call us or text us or see us on Facebook at 502-239-2288.
All right, thank you so much for being here. He's got his display here. Come out today 2 to 4 at Lakeside Reflections. Now we've got Ann Ho, the Louisville Chocolate Fountain.
Hi, Mike.
I'm so glad you're here today, and I hope you all come out today at 2 o'clock to taste this awesome chocolate fountain she has. And tell us a little about your business.
So we have been around since 2004, full service company. I know a lot of people like, oh, chocolate fountains, they're dirty. We have never had a problem. We have always stayed with our fountains the entire time, served our guests, wore gloves, tell our people who are coming up to get some chocolate, if you want to dip it, that's fine. Just remember, once the skewer hits your mouth, you throw it out and you get a new one. We can dip it for you. A lot of times right now, either the bride and groom or the mom and dad or someone will ask if we would dip it for them.
So you have chocolate, you have white chocolate, you also have caramel.
Yep.
And then you also have, I know this is real popular now, queso.
Queso, yes. Well, what's really popular are the Mexican stations. So taco bar, nacho bar, and we do queso fountain. People, I could not tell you how they go nuts over that. I mean, and you can do it along with, which works best, along with like a taco bar, a nacho bar, things like that. It'll go farther for you because our fountain comes with, you know, so many gallons of queso depending on what size fountain you have, and chips. If you are just planning on serving that, they're going to want bowls of chips and queso instead of a drizzle over their nachos. So.
Well, I know your daughter just got married 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was amazing. And I know she had the different stations for tacos, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it went
awesome.
really well. People, I couldn't believe how much it was gone. And there was, I think she had 4 gallons. So.
Now you don't just do weddings; you also do birthday parties and
corporate
prom,
events.
corporate.
Yes, you name it. Corporate birthday parties, Christmas corporate parties. Gosh, you name it. We've been at everything, including a couple like wakes. I mean, it works. It works in every occasion.
It's a comfort food.
It is a comfort food, and that's the one that we did as far as a wake. Loved chocolate and wanted to be buried in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which obviously wasn't going to happen. So they did the next best thing.
You did the best thing. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Exactly. So,
and how can the couples get a hold of you?
So our website, everything's LouisvilleChocolateFountain.com, Instagram, Louisville Chocolate Fountain, and at Louisville Chocolate Fountain. If you want to drop me an email, you can go on our website and just fill out a form if you have some questions to ask. And my phone number, 502-216-9110. If it's easier to text, that's fine. I answer those too.
All right.
Okay.
Ann, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here. Appreciate it.
Thank
She will be here again today from 2 to 4 and during the live bridal show. Now we are going to walk outside. Can we go out this door? Okay, we're going to walk out and we're going to see the Louisville trolley. And then we're also going to take a ride over to Nick's Museum, which is another venue park here at Lakeside Reflections. So just keep in mind when you are looking for a Louisville Wedding Network vendor, always check us out on LouisvilleWeddingNetwork.com. All of us are listed there. And make sure, just keep in mind that if you book 2 or more vendors, you will get 5% off of each one. We know right now that every little penny helps when saving, so that's going to help a lot. So now we're going to jump on to the Louisville trolley, and we have got David and Cindy with us. Cindy, how are you?
Greetings, welcome aboard.
Come on, let's get on and we'll talk with you. Tell us a little bit about the Louisville trolley.
I sure can. We purchased Louisville's first Tunerville 2 trolley back in 2011. We spent a year improving it, upgrading it. We redid all the wood that you see in this trolley. We put in a really awesome Bluetooth sound system so we can accommodate anybody's playlists. We have the peripheral seating so everybody can see each other and talk with each other while we're traveling. We're completely handicap accessible, so we can accommodate wheelchairs, scooters, walkers, just about anything anybody would need.
Why would a couple want to use the Louisville trolley?
Mainly we take couples from either their homes to their venues, or from the church to their reception site. We do stop at areas around the city for photo ops, Cherokee Park, Waterfront Park areas. The most important thing is we bring all your people, all your wedding party together and on time, which is very important. Also, it's a lot more fun than driving your own car. We also provide shuttles for out-of-town guests. we actually provide a uniquely Louisville way of getting your out-of-town guests from their hotels to the venue. They do not have to worry about getting lost. We also provide the designated drivers, so nobody has to worry about anything like that. We also can take care of you for rehearsal dinners, bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, showers, any type of pre-wedding event that you have going on.
Okay, we're going to come back to you in just a minute.
Okay.
Louisville Trolley is amazing. We are also coming up on Nick's Museum over at Lakeside Reflections. Paul, tell us a little bit about the museum part of your...
Sure. So the museum is relatively new. It's been in operation about 3 years, and it's turned into about a third of our business, which is really, really good. It's very rustic. It's concrete floors, but you can jazz it up with white lead tablecloths, white chair covers, some very rustic centerpieces. We cater everything out of Lakeside for the museum. However, at the museum, we allow Louisville Wedding Network vendors in there. So outside DJs, outside caterers, and that can also come into the museum, as well as florists and people like that. So let's go see it.
Okay, that's good to know, because, you know, over at Lakeside Reflections, where we were just at, I mean, all of them do all their own catering. We do bring in, they will let a florist come in and do decorations and stuff, but their DJ and their catering, all that is supplied by them. But if you use Nick's Museum, you're able to bring in your own food, your own flowers, your own DJ and all that. Very unique place. We do weddings over here all the time. I bet you I've been over here at least 3 or 4 times in the last 8 weeks. So I think I'm excited for you to see what we've got going on here.
So Nick's Museum, lots of treasures. We call it American picker style, right? It's just full of old artifacts from the Army ammunition plant, from the Sports Drone Speedway, from Marble Hill Nuclear Power Plant. The whole facility was built from surplus material, from surplus restored material.
Now, you supply the linens and everything in this building also, correct?
We do. A lot of brides, you know, still like the white linens over here, but you know, some brides come in and they want to do something completely different. They like burlap and hay bales, you know, which is fine too. We'll do whatever.
So you will do that, or do they need to do that?
No, they'll need to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we allow them to do as much as they want.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
And
how many does this hold?
It will hold, believe it or not, with another row of tables and that here, it'll hold up to about 250 people. Right now, it's probably set up for about 150. Yeah, it's got a really neat fireplace here, very unique bar. We have a bridal area back here on the left. Bridal table goes up here, obviously, and it's skirted and lit with all the DJ lights and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're keeping on your Facebook page or any wedding that I've always done. This is like a photo one right here. And you can take cousins here. I love how that's set apart from the head table. Perfect for, you know, pictures and so on.
Yep.
Now, I know you do the weddings outside.
Yes, well, outside or inside. During the winter months, they can do the wedding inside, next to the fireplace, or up here by the bridal table if they want. Or they can rent the chairs and put them out on the veranda overlooking the 11-acre lake. It's very scenic, very pretty.
Let's take a look at that. I mean, your fountain, your historical fountain.
Yeah, that fountain came from the Louisville Zoo. It used to sit out in front of the Louisville Zoo back in the 1970s.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what a perfect place for a wedding, overviewing the lake and the fountain, which you've got that fountain from both locations. You've got a really nice piece of property.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We think so. It's very park-like setting, lots of wildlife. You know, we have deer and raccoons and geese and all kinds of stuff.
So what's the easiest way to get here, Paul?
The easiest way to get here depends on which way you come. So if you're in the east end of Louisville, come across the East End Bridge, get off at the first exit, make a left, come down into Utica, and we're actually 7 minutes from the East End Bridge. if you're towards Shively, west end of Louisville or downtown Louisville, whatever, come across I-65, get off at the first exit, hit Market Street, Utica Pike, come straight up, and we're right there. We're 11 minutes from there.
I tell you what, since that East End Bridge opened up, I couldn't wait for that bridge to open up for you all, because I knew it'd be so much easier for you.
The floodgates have opened for us, absolutely. Yeah, we got to get past this virus, and I think everything's going to be great.
We're going to get past it, and we hope to see all of you all out here today from 2 to 4, because we're going to be here in person. And you can also come over here and tour this place from 2 to 4 also, because we will have the Louisville trolley, haul you back and forth, and we also have Extreme Transportation here to do that as well.
Yep.
Go back in.
So let's see, the museum is just a lot of different things. I mean, you'll see window glass here from Tumbleweed. You'll see down the center of the building is a crane boom going down the roof line are some buildings that we tore down. But you got bleachers on the side, and you got 6 feet of concrete on both sides. My son always says if there's anything that happens in the world, this is the safest place to come, right? It is a barracks. Very unique fireplace. The fireplace was tore down from downtown in Jeff here, old home that burned down, and we salvaged my brother-in-law, Clark Nichols, salvaged the stone. But you see some very unique, like the Hoosier cabinet here. A lot of people won't even know what some of this stuff is. Mike, do you know what that black thing is over there?
I have no clue.
That's a water heater. An old-time gas-powered water heater. Behind that, you've got a wringer washer that's made out of brass.
An old-time telephone up there.
Old-time telephone. American Pickers has contacted us. We sent them about 400 photos. They haven't gotten back to us, but I'm hoping they do.
That's amazing. Well, I think it's a perfect place for a rustic vintage wedding.
Yeah, over here we've got an old car. Over here we've got several old cars back in here. People donate a lot of things to us here at the museum, and we love just showing it off.
So when they do, is there a kitchen that the caterer can come in and work in? And if
there is no kitchen here, but we have a warmer for them to use, so the food has to be prepared off-site, but they can use the warmer here in the kitchen.
And this is usually where the food is set up?
Yes, this is typically the buffet right here. Yeah. And the other tables are used for cake tables or memory tables or, lots of different options.
Well, it's an awesome place, and I wish you all would come out and see this in person, because I know being on camera doesn't do it any justice, and that's the way it is over at Lakeside too, with the beautiful lake and the fountain. So we're going to head back to Lakeside because we're going to still getting ready for our in-person bridal show, and we're going to finish up with Louisville Trolley and get more information about that you can contact them and book them.
When we go to pull up to Lakeside and close it out by night.
Okay. We'll finish with them. We'll finish with them.
Yeah.
Or start with them and finish with them.
Yeah. You go ahead. You got the mic.
Go on the back? Sure. Go. Go up on the back.
Sounds like a plan. This is a beautiful trolley. I love this trolley. You guys did a great job this week. Thank you.
So Cindy, why don't you tell us how the cooking company
Alright, our website is LouisvilleTrolley.com. We can also email us at LouisvilleTrolley@bellsouth.net, and our phone number is 502-551-2732.
Thank you all so much for being here. You'll see some great rides down here today.
We would love to have you. We like taking people out for their special day. We like making it special. We do everything that we can to accommodate you. We've got water bottles on board. People do bring coolers for drinkables, and it's a lot of fun, and we like being a part of people's special day.
Thank you, Cindy, so much for being here today and transferring us over to Nick's Museum. We'll go back to Paul. Paul, I know you have other venues to that the bride can take, or the weddings can take place. So you've got the pavilion.
Yep, we've got the large tan-top pavilion that can hold about 220 people under canvas. We have the small, intimate gazebo where the bride and groom can stand up on the wooden gazebo and get married with chairs flared out on either side in the grassy area. In the winter months at Lakeside, what we do is we convert one of our banquet halls into a ceremony room, and then they go to another banquet hall for the reception.
Okay, so I've got a question.
Yes, sure.
How many weddings can you have here in one day?
I can do 3 weddings in one day, and what we do is we schedule it 2 hours apart so that the brides get their personal time during their ceremony, and then they go to their reception hall, and they never see each other. Yeah. So we can feed up to 800 people in a day, and we've done that routinely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for letting us be here today.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys were able to come.
I mean, it is a beautiful place. I can't say enough about it. This is the perfect place to get married. They're going to take care of it all for you. And, from inside weddings, outside weddings, being over at Nick's Museum. So we would love to invite you to come today at 2 Lakeside from 2 to 4 in person. All of our venues, all of our vendors are here waiting to answer questions for you. And don't forget, if you visit us at LouisvilleWeddingNetwork.com, and then also remember too that if you book 2 or more vendors of the Louisville Wedding Network, you're going to get 5% off of each vendor. So we're looking forward to seeing you. I'm not sure what time it is, but it's getting close. I know we've got 1 hour until the doors open, and I know early this morning people were already starting to come. We're taking all the precautions of COVID. We've got over 10,000 square feet of space here. We want to see you come out and see us and save some money and enjoy planning that perfect day. Thanks for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you. Visit us at LouisvilleWeddingNetwork.com. Thank you.